Yo, what's good, family? It's your man had to slide in here once again on you and have a conversation with you. I just seen coverage all over the place about I think the new book being released is named Fight or whatever, talking about the campaign. Well, the campaign that started out between Donald Trump and Joe Biden. And then it eventually led to the candidacy of Kamala Harris against Donald Trump. And just hearing all the behind the scenes information and the shenanigans that was going on, I was just like, wow, because I swear to God to you, I called a lot of this stuff in real time as it was going on, you know? So I just basically want to go through some of it real quick and get on out y'all way and just tell you my thinking along the whole process and establish what everybody was fighting against me with. Even majority of the sisters was against me when I was saying that Obama did not want her or Kamala to become the nominee. They were acting like I was crazy. There's a number of things Obama did, Bill Clinton did, as well as Joe Biden that made me feel that they were sabotaging this woman. But I'm going to go ahead and go through it, and I'm going to give it to you from a perspective of liberal and conservative, okay? And then I'm also going to tell you why I felt Obama felt the way he did. And it might be looking like, they may be setting something up here. You know what I'm saying? What is the story? What is a good story without a conspiracy in it? So here we go.
The night of the debate with Joe Biden and Donald Trump.
I think people will remember that moment where Trump says, I don't know what he just said, and I don't think he does either. And
right.
It's sympathetic. I mean, for Trump, with an opponent on stage, typically he's not particularly sympathetic. But in this case, he's looking at Biden. He's like, this looks terrible. And he starts thinking to himself, I need to just kind of keep it in and not look like a jerk.
Now, I was thinking the whole time doing this debate that they setting this man up. And this is the reason why I said that. I don't think historically you can say that there has ever been a time that you had a presidential debate before either one of the candidates had became the nominee of that particular party. Biden was not the nominee of his party at that time, but they did a debate. And they did it extremely early, which was premature to me. I said, you know what? Something's going on with this. And then Biden gets up there. Donald Trump jumps out on him. But then I started seeing Donald Trump starting to appear very, very like dialed back. He wasn't bombastic. He wasn't flamboyant. He wasn't his normal self. I'm like, hold on. And then I started to see how how Biden was answering questions. And I was like, you know what? This man is just basically getting out of his way and letting him stumble over himself. And everybody, well, man, you crazy. You just a Republican. You a hater and all this because, full disclosure, I ended up voting for Donald Trump. This is the first time I ever did it. Voted Donald Trump or voted Democratic ticket the rest of the way. But it's the first time that I ever did that. And they just attacked me and so on. So just seeing this now, that this was on Donald Trump's mind and that he was like, hey, hold on, let me slow up and just get out of his way. Okay, see, money, I see you on this thing. What's happening with you, baby? This is off topic. You can answer when you want, but I ain't got my damn glass. I don't know what the hell that. I've been trying to ask you this for a while. Do you think El Mencho, the leader, do you think he's still alive? I don't know, man. I don't know. I hadn't really been following that as of lately. But I know that over there at times there are kidnappings that go on and things of that sort. So I don't know. That's a good question. You know what? What I'm gonna do? I'm gonna probably as soon as I jump off in here, I'm gonna look at some of it Well, shoot me some of the stuff you want me to look at. You know what I'm saying? And I analyze it and I tell you what I think, family. But that's a good question. I hadn't really thought about that since I got into the debate with old karate, Jay Flores over there, when we was arguing about the whole thing with El Mencho and who started the Jalisco New Generation cartel up there in Juarez. Because I said my chief, Mario Nunez Mesa, is the one that actually started it. And then Mencho was the one that was the benefactor later on, based on the whole thing. Well, based on what I know. So, yeah, I mean, shoot me something on it, man. I'll take a look at it. But, good. I mean, listen, you guys can ask any question you want on the subject, off the shelf. We here to kick it, you know. But good stuff, C-Money. Good stuff. So, what the hell was that? So, yeah. So, here we go. Let's go on to the next joint.
And Hillary Skolton, a freshman from Michigan, texts the group chat during the debate, or maybe right after, Whitmer for president. And then somebody else chimes in, Whitmer for president. This is while Joe Biden is, still on debate night. And then the response comes from some of the Congressional Black Caucus members, the women in that caucus, saying, you're not going to skip over Kamala Harris. Joe Biden is already in the rearview mirror for these folks, and there is a fight breaking out over whether it's going to be Kamala Harris or someone else, in this case, Gretchen Whitmer.
Now, this is validation. Again, now it's proof. Is out here. These people were debating who was going to get the spoils of the war after they threw his ass out there to the wolves. I mean, politics is a crazy, crazy business. Okay, C-Money, you say, okay, thank you. Yeah, for sure, man. Just shoot it to me. We can, and I mean, we could possibly do a show on it, man. Ain't no problem. Anytime you got a recommendation or something you want me to look at, I'll look at it and I'll tell you what I think, family, for sure. But yeah, they threw Joe Biden ass out there, threw him to the wolves, and they started busting down the spoils of war after the fact. And I said this to another Republican guy that I know, and I was telling him that they're going to run a ticket with Gretch, we call it Big Gretch up here in Michigan, and Kamala Harris. And I said, I think that Trump will have a problem beating that ticket. And I still think she made a mistake when she picked that guy out of, I think, Wisconsin. That was a bad move. But I heard something on the flip side from a partner of mine that was dating a young lady that was on Gretchen's cabinet, And I guess they put the question forward to her. And I mean, this is allegedly. Gretchen was like, the opportunity was offered to her, but she rejected it, and that she was going to wait and hold out until 2028. And I told him, well, man, that's pretty much her saying that Kamala's going to lose. But that's neither here nor there. Let's go ahead and move on to the next one. Now, this one, I'm going to give you the view of the liberal end, from the liberal station, and from the conservative station, to let you see that the reporting is the same based on this book. And then we're going to get to the weeds a little bit.
President Obama absolutely did not think that Joe Biden should continue, according to our sources close to President Obama. And he also didn't want Kamala Harris to be the replacement for Biden. He didn't think that she was the best choice for Democrats. And he worked really behind the scenes for a long time to try to have a mini primary or an open convention, or a mini primary leading to an open convention. Did not have faith in her ability to win the election. So, and as it turned out, she didn't win, but he was really working against her. And when Harris talked to Obama on the day that Biden handed off to her, Obama was unwilling to give his endorsement then.
Okay, now y'all see that? That's one of the gentlemen that wrote the book. But you see what he's reporting on MSNBC. Now I'm gonna show you him on Fox News, so you can see that it's even across the board, and they're going to read an excerpt, or how do you pronounce it, from the actual book. Check it out.
President Obama really thought about Kamala Harris, the Democrat, as the nominee. It reads, in private conversations, Obama flat out told allies she would lose to Trump. He was right. He did not think she should be the candidate, and said, one confidant, he liked the idea of Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer at the top of the ticket and Maryland Governor Wes Moore at the bottom. He didn't want a coronation of Harris.
Obama definitely did not think she should be the Democratic nominee.
He would not endorse that day either.
He would not endorse that day either. She talked to him. He said to her, I don't want to put my thumb on the scale. She was disappointed, but not necessarily shocked, because he'd been behind the scenes trying to undermine her for the last several weeks before Biden even got out.
Now you're hearing now that he was undermining her efforts before, even while he was trying to push Biden out the way. He was still undermining her. And then after Biden decided to step to the side, he was still undermining her. And when she talked to him, he told her that he would not support her, while he was still rallying to try to get more and more support against her. Now, I do agree that Gretch would have been, along with the governor of Maryland, would have been a much better ticket. You know, Kamala had baggage on her, unfortunately. And again, I do believe she was set up. I do believe she was done bad. I do. I'm just going to admit that. I was never going to vote for her because her identity as being was questionable to me. And she appeared to be more of an opportunist to me. Okay. And then I'm looking at how when she was running for president, when Tulsi Gabbard did her one-two on her about her history with criminal justice and the prosecution of people in California, she took out behind the woodshed. The following day, she dropped out of the election. But then when Biden got in there, he brought her right back. I'm like, this girl's not earning her bones here. And then just as this, and I had a suspicion all along that they're going to get Biden as close as they can to maybe 60 to 90 days out from the election, and they're going to find a way to can him, which they did, and they're going to bring her in not far out so she can't really be vetted the whole way, because they knew she was inept in certain ways. And that's exactly what they did. That's exactly what they did. What's up, Mo? I see you in here, baby. Appreciate you, man. Sliding through this thing once again on us. For sure, for sure. You know, so that's important to point out. Now, let's get into the thick of the woods where I can show you a little bit of the plot. Okay, here we go. Where we at here?
I've got a problem with that because part of it makes me think, and I'm speaking to men directly now, part of it makes me think that, well, you just aren't feeling the idea of having a woman as president. And you're coming up with other alternatives and other reasons for that. And so now you're thinking about sitting out or even supporting somebody who has a history of denigrating you because you think that's a sign of strength, because that's what being a man is, putting women down. That's not acceptable.
Now look at what that charlatan's standing up there doing. Now that we know the truth, he's sabotaging this woman the whole time, and then he jumps out there and starts lecturing and pissed everybody off. Pissed everybody off. That's all you seen in the news stream for like weeks, pissing everybody off. But what stood out to me, he never came back to walk it back, and he never came out and apologized. I told people then, he's sabotaging her. She's already having a problem with the male vote, even though 80% of 80-something, 85, 86% of the brothers still voted her way, but she was having problems. And he never walked that back. It's almost like sticking an extra craw, as the old folk would say, in somebody's neck. He never walked it back, and he stood on it. Then you had Bill Clinton came out and admitted that if she was the postman border czar or whatever, if they would have had a stricter policy on the border, that an actual immigrant that had committed a deleting of a female wouldn't have never happened. How you gonna come out and do that in the middle of a campaign, Bill Clinton? And then you had Joe Biden that was challenged to take off his Joe Biden campaign hat and put on a Trump hat. And he did it. What we got here, Mark? If Trump finds a way to run for a third term, that opens the door up for Obama also. Might be really interesting. And listen here, you read my mind more. That's why I love you, buddy. You read my mind, because we're going to touch on that before we get on up out of here. We're going to touch on exactly that subject. But again, as I was saying, my point was you had people working against her the whole time, that they really didn't have the confidence in her and could not get their way, and they started working against her. Okay, now let's move on.
Watched that last week, and I think he spoke down to black men. I thought it was terrible the way he spoke to them. But
you think it's effective? You think he still carries the same stick as he did, maybe 8 years ago or 12 years ago?
No, I don't think it is. No, I don't think he does. I think people have gotten smart. And no, I don't believe he does at all.
Now, that's Trump that jumped on the thing that he said to black men and offended black men. And then he's saying that Obama don't carry the same power and authority that he once did. Here we go. I was telling people at that time, I don't think Obama wants her in there. And this is the really real reason I think he don't want her in there. Obama is a black man, even if some say maybe in name only. Okay, if she becomes, meaning Kamala Harris, becomes the nominee and wins the presidency, Obama no longer has a job. Obama was basically the pseudo or quasi voice of the people of color or black people. And he demanded a lot of attention, and he got a lot of respect on what he said based off that factor in the Democratic Party. But if she wins, she becomes the actual leader of the Democratic Party. And anything that the Democratic Party wants to do, they're going to tap in with her, see what her feelings is about it before they move forward, and not Obama. What you got, Mark? I support Trump all day long. In my opinion, he won't be able to beat Obama. I support Trump. I voted for Trump. But more, we about to get to that. Slow your ass down, nigga. We getting to that. Anyway, so, but as more is stating, but anyway, let me finish stating this part. That's really what the crux of, I believe, that he didn't want her in there because of what it would did for him. And then I looked at how Michelle emphatically stumped for her, and Obama really didn't. He didn't go hard for her like he was doing for Hillary Clinton before. Okay, so you guys need to pay attention to that right there. Yeah, more, get your ass on out of here. You starting shit. So now we're going to move on. I got 2 more videos for you. Now we're going to move on off into what more rushing my ass to get off into. Here we go right here.
Allowed for some reason to run for a 3rd term. Is there a thought that the Democrats could try to run Barack Obama against you?
I'd love that.
For his 3rd term?
Boy, I'd love that. That would be a good one. I'd like that. No, people are asking me to run, and there's a whole story about running for a 3rd term. I don't know. I never looked into it. They do say there's a way you can do it, but I don't know about that. But I have not looked into it. I want to.
Now y'all see. Look at this motherfucker more. He on his starting shit. Look at him. He got me in the goddamn barbershop, which I appreciate that more. That's love. Tell some of them guys to come over here, subscribe to the channel, man, and give me some likes. But Moore got me in the goddamn barbershop, starting a bunch of mess in there. That's what he in there doing. But guess what, Moore? You say they need it? Well, damn it, we gonna give it to them. So here we go. You just seen Trump speak. Now I'm about to go in silly season here now. I'm about to go out in silly season here. We're going to go out on a limb, but it's going to go in a direction more want to go, and I'm going to give an opinion on that. My cousin said to me, I don't know where he's seen this at. I asked him to send it to me because sometimes he a Trump supporter, but sometimes he can be a little radical. He's a brother too, but he goes a little too damn far. But anyway, he said he's seen something that said Trump was going to be the 18th president. I'm like, how is he going to be the 18th president, cuz? And we had president, what, 46, 47 or somewhere in there. Then I said, oh, wait a minute. Could it be president of the continental United States of America? Of what? That's the name of America before it became America. Understand? When America became the United States of America, you only had states along the East Coast. The rest of the Midwest or West were not states. Okay, keep that in mind, because everybody think when you say the United States as of 1776, they're talking about the United States as what it is now. That was not the case. It was only along the East Coast. I don't even know if Michigan was in yet, you know. But anyway, as we proceed, I'm like, so if they're saying he'll be the 18th or 19th president of the continental United States of America, that would basically mean that they're trying to collapse the United States of America. I'm in silly season here. Just free thought here. Okay. So I'm like, wow. Okay. And then a third term. Now, as Moore said, and you just seen Trump entertaining the thought, that would create an opportunity for Obama to run again. Y'all excuse me on all this cussing, but me and Moore, we go through this. Get the hell on, Moore. Get the hell on with that shit now. You know, but that would set up a third term for Obama. Now think back to the birther movement and all this stuff. Now I'm about to show y'all something. I'm in silly season now. Don't hold my foot to the fire on this. I muted the vocals on this because they sing church songs, and for some reason this algorithm like to say everything belongs to somebody. Muslim people, they might say that the church song they singing belong to a 12th century monk or something. I don't know, but I'm about to run this for y'all. Look at the body language and tell me what you think, and then I'm gonna give you what I think. Here we go. Hold on, let me preface this. This is at Jimmy Carter's funeral right here. Here we go. Look at Obama. You see how the Gores is looking at Obama, his wife Tipper and all that. Look at Obama. See, do it look like they had a disagreement at any time in life? I mean, they getting on down through there. Look at that. Now, there's another clip showing when Harris was there. She gave a dirty look to Obama. Her nose flared. She's like, threw her hair back. Look at that. Look at that right there. You see that shit? Now tell me what you think. Tell me what you think now. I mean, listen here. I've been through a lot of stuff in my life, and I know y'all have too. But right there, that looked like somebody knows something that we don't. And let me run this back for you again, what Trump said when he was asked about that third term.
Allowed for some reason to run for a third term. Is there a thought that the Democrats could try to run Barack Obama against you?
I'd love that.
For his third term?
Boy, I'd love that. That would be a good one. I'd like that. No, people are asking me to run, and there's a whole story about running for a third term. I don't know. I never looked into it. They do say there's a way you can do it, but I don't know about that. But I have not looked into it. I want to.
Okay, we got more on here. Welcome, more real active today. We ain't got the rest of the posse in here, so he acting out on me, I guess. As it sits, the Democratic Party has no answer for Trumpism. Correct. Open the door for a third term would be like the second coming of Jesus for Democrats. Okay, now let's analyze this. I don't think it would be like the third coming of Jesus, or if I'm correcting that, the second coming of Jesus with the Democrats. And this is why I say this. We have to take into consideration how our generation feel and the generations before feel about Obama. Those younger generations of millennial and Generation Z that are now able to vote don't feel that same way about him. They have a more tribalistic ideology. We don't. They do. And Obama, in his own admittance, admitted that he did not do anything directly for black people. He admitted it. Now, he didn't do as bad as what Kamala Harris did when she stated, am I going to do something just specifically black? No, no, which came back and hurt her along with a prison record with men and so on and so forth. Okay? So I think that's what we have to entertain. It would not be as easy for Obama, but if that happened for Trump, and then we also had to take into consideration of how old Obama, well, in 4 years, I guess he wouldn't be that old. But if that would be the case, you will start seeing Obama start to do a little bit of campaigning and start to be more visible. He would have to start early stating what he's going to do for black people. Okay. What her name is? Harris did not win any of the swing states, not one. And you have heavy population of people of color in those swing states. So he would have to start talking this up real fast more, and he would have to start talking it up right now in order for this to happen. But it seems, as I stated before, and I'm going to run this back, it seems as though Gore, look how Gore looked. Look how typical Gore looked. Like they couldn't believe it. Michelle's not there with him. Them two seem like they got something up and they know something that don't nobody else know. And don't forget, Trump just said he would like that to run against Obama. Look at this, man. Now, can you imagine the things that Trump used to say about him? He wasn't an American citizen and all that. And look at them too. Look at his smile. Listen here. It may just be me, but look like these two jokers laughing to the bank. But I'm going to go ahead and get out y'all way. I wasn't planning on being in front of y'all this long, but then Moore had to jump his ass on out here and get me to going. Hey, Moore, you tell some of them jokers in that doggone barbershop just come on over here and subscribe, man, and give a brother some support since you over there using me to push forward your agenda. All right, family. Appreciate everybody that checked this joint out. About to get out y'all way again. Like, subscribe, and all that other good stuff. But at the end of the day, as I always say, when I stop cooking, that I'm trying to fuck with you. But hopefully by the end of the day, you'll be fucking with me. Deuces.